Apocalypse. They're having a Disney Pixar movie premiere right now for Elio, a movie about aliens spreading their dangerous pineapple chunks and mangoes with a squirt of lime all over the city. I did not know it was going to be this bad. People who've lived here their whole lives, people who've been in this, which is the correct word to use, by agents in masks, hiding their identities, grabbing people off the street and at work.
Jimmy Kimmel has never been one to shy away from controversy. Night after night, he skewers politicians, roasts celebrities, and takes aim at anyone bold or foolish enough to step into the spotlight. But on a recent episode of his late-night show, Kimmel did something different, something raw, something real. He didn't tell a joke. He told the truth. And that truth wasn't about gossip or comedy or even the usual political circus. It was about what's really happening in Los Angeles. And somehow, almost impossibly, it made Donald Trump cry. Not tears of sadness, not even tears of regret, but the kind of frustrated, furious breakdown that happens when someone tells a story you've been trying to bury. Because when Jimmy Kimmel pulled back the curtain on the city he calls home, he also exposed the consequences of decades of political neglect, economic inequality, and false promises. And he made sure to call out the people he believes made it worse, including Trump himself. The segment wasn't flashy. It didn't open with laughter, it opened with silence.
Don't tell Trump, he'll send the Green Berets in too, but I just want to say thank God for this disgusting and unnecessary abuse of power instigated by our mentally ill president, who is dead set a city longer than I have, the vast majority of whom have never done anything wrong or being abducted, sending people to detention centers, and to protest that, which is not only our right as Americans, it's our responsibility.
Kimmel walked out to a hushed audience. He looked serious, more serious than fans are used to seeing. "I want to take a moment tonight," he began, "not to tell a joke, but to tell you what I saw last weekend, and what I see every time I drive home." He described the tent cities, the trash-strewn sidewalks, the people sleeping under bridges, curled up on bus benches, or walking in circles, talking to themselves, ignored by everyone passing by. He described mothers with strollers weaving through open drug use, families stepping over needles on their way to school, and business owners boarding up their windows not because of crime, but because they've given up hope that things will change. "This is not the LA of the movies," he said. "This is not Hollywood Boulevard and sunshine. This is a city in crisis." Kimmel didn't blame just one party. He tore into everyone: Democrats, Republicans, governors, mayors, police chiefs, tech billionaires, and yes, Donald Trump. But it was the mention of Trump that changed everything. "You had 4 years," Kimmel said, looking straight into the camera. 4 years to fix anything, and instead, you tweeted, you golfed, you blamed immigrants, you turned American cities into punchlines. You acted like Los Angeles was some alien world filled with chaos and crime, when really it's filled with people you never cared about." He paused. The audience was dead silent. "Do you know what it's like?" he continued. "To see a kid in school clothes digging through a trash can for half a sandwich? I do. I saw it last week, and it broke me."
For President Trump and the heroes at ICE for protecting us from these bloodthirsty fruit stand vendors, for what you have done. I'm very angry, I have to say. I cannot believe what's going on. I knew it was going to be bad. Los Angelinos have been gathering to demonstrate, and with very few exceptions, peacefully demonstrate to voice their opposition on exacerbating this. Who actually wants conflict, who is intentionally inflaming and lying to make it seem like there's a war going on here.
This wasn't satire. This was something else. The man who made a living off mockery was now speaking with visible emotion, his voice cracking at times. He shared stories of elderly people who used to be teachers now living in cars, of war veterans panhandling outside gas stations, of addicts who were once promising college students. Kimmel's message wasn't just about suffering, it was about how normalized it had all become. "People talk about homelessness like it's a background noise," he said, "like it's just part of the urban experience, but it's not. It's failure, it's systemic failure, and pretending it's normal is the most dangerous thing of all. That line exploded online. Within hours, clips of the monologue were circulating everywhere. Celebrities reposted it, news outlets debated it. And in Mar-a-Lago, according to insiders, Donald Trump was livid. The former president reportedly watched the clip and launched into a tirade, calling Kimmel a washed-up loser, a Hollywood slimeball, and a disgrace to late-night television. But his anger, some aides whispered, was hiding something else: discomfort. Because for once, the attack hit something he couldn't spin. It wasn't about ideology, it wasn't partisan, it was real. And Trump, despite his bluster, knew Kimmel wasn't wrong. During his presidency, Trump repeatedly used cities like Los Angeles, Chicago, and San Francisco as political props. He would post cherry-picked crime stats, grainy videos of chaos, and rants about Democrat cities falling apart. But when asked for federal support or coordinated plans to address homelessness, addiction, or housing shortages, his administration often passed the buck. Kimmel called that out directly. "Don't act like you tried to help," he said. "Don't sit in a golden mansion and pretend you care about people who don't have a toilet. You didn't help, you mocked. And now you want to come back and pretend you're the solution? We remember." It wasn't just Trump who caught heat. Kimmel dragged California politicians too. "We've had Democratic leadership here for years," he said. "And you know what? They've failed too. They talk big, hold press conferences, throw around buzzwords like equity and sustainability. But you know what's sustainable? Doing nothing." He named names: Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, Eric Garcetti. He criticized LA for becoming the capital of empty promises, where billions were spent, but the streets kept getting worse. The monologue ended not with a joke, but with a plea. If you're watching this and you live in LA, stop pretending this is someone else's problem. If you're watching this from New York or Texas or wherever, this is coming for you too. Cities are bleeding and politicians are fundraising off the wounds. He then stared into the camera one last time. "Fix it, or stop calling yourselves leaders." The applause wasn't raucous. It was slow, stunned, but powerful. The internet, on the other hand, went nuclear. Kimmel's honesty sparked a wave of reaction, some supportive, others furious. MAGA influencers called it Hollywood virtue signaling. Far-right media accused Kimmel of using LA's homeless crisis for ratings. Fox News ran headlines like "Kimmel breaks down as liberal policies collapse," spinning the monologue into their own narrative. But many people, especially Angelenos, said it was the first time someone with a real platform actually said it out loud, that things are bad, that politicians of both parties have failed, and that mocking each other while people sleep on sidewalks isn't a political strategy, it's cruelty. As for Trump, insiders say he privately fumed for days, not because of the jokes, but because of the truth. Because someone like Jimmy Kimmel, someone he dismissed as just another late-night clown, had managed to articulate something powerful, something that resonated. "He knows how to get under his skin," one former aide admitted. And that monologue, that one stung. So no, Trump didn't cry in the way most people think, but to a man obsessed with control, image, and dominance, being exposed as a spectator to real suffering, that kind of truth leaves a mark. And Jimmy Kimmel, whether by accident or design, made sure that mark wouldn't fade.